Right now, during the Memorial Day event at Team Mazda, get 0.9% financing for 60 months on a new 24 Mazda CX-50, or get 2.9% for 72 months. With dozens to choose from and thousands in savings, now's the time to get your new Mazda at Team Mazda.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you had plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here. They keep hauling us in here for this 9 News Now thing. Appreciate you watching. Good to see you. Welcome to Tuesday morning here, South Louisiana and beyond, because it's the internets and you can watch us from pretty much anywhere. Why would you? 7:03 your time as we relay this down live. 80 degrees to get you going. We have not dropped below 80 degrees. Just like yesterday, did not drop below 80 degrees. This is fun times in South Louisiana. This is so insane. Good spot to be. Always find some water, but the water today may have a little fog on it.
Yeah, we have been seeing a little bit of fog. It's not everywhere. It's kind of patchy in nature, but still something to watch out for as you get out on the roads. Now, in this shot, which I pulled up about 10 minutes ago on 9 News this morning, not long ago we couldn't see all the way across. But technically an Oxbow Lake up here in False River, right? Hence the name False River. We can see the other shoreline over there, so the visibility's improved a touch, but still at the airport, New Roads, visibility reported all the way down to a quarter mile. It's a mile and a quarter here in Baton Rouge. Most other spots are okay, not terrible. 1 mile in Homa, and then you get some fog on the west side of the basin as well. So stay alert, but fog for most of us not a major issue. But to Matt's point, still very warm. 81 in Baton Rouge. However, look up to our north and northeast. Temperatures are running a little bit cooler. 69 Macomb, 72 Bogalusa. There's a weak frontal boundary that's slowly inching southward. Not going to do a ton for our temperatures, but it should start to drop humidity as we work our way through the day. Still going to be hot today. I've got 92 at noon, 96 for a high, and then mid to late afternoon, we start keeping an eye out for a few storms. Let's take a look at that on Futurecast. First, this is the HRRR. Should be mainly dry here through the morning, so that's noon. Now we'll get into the afternoon, 3 o'clock. We start to see a few storms developing, and the key here is we think these storms are going to tend to move along that boundary that's slowly sinking southward. So now here we are at 5 o'clock. Most of the storms showing up near and especially south of Baton Rouge, and then they continue southward into this evening and tonight. Now, let's give you a look at the graph model, which isn't too different. So the storms we're expecting this right now at this point in time are up around Dallas, but watch how they kind of move along that boundary. So here we are at noon. Now, the graph does have them a little farther inland than the HRRR, a little more into Metro Baton Rouge, but pretty good agreement in these two models by mid to late afternoon, and then has them quickly exiting off to the east. With that, we do have a low-end severe weather threat today, 1 out of 5 marginal risk. Storms moving in like the northwest, from the northwest like that tend to be a little more active. Damaging winds the main concern, but hail also possible. Now we are getting into a slightly more active pattern that over the next 7 days looks to deliver 1 to 2 inches of rain for many of us on average, but those totals could go higher in spots. The last week and a half or so, it's been pretty dry. We could actually use a little bit of rain. So a few things to note here on our 10-day outlook. Number one, 96 for a high today, but beginning tomorrow into the weekend, the heat not as bad, closer to normal, upper 80s to around 90. And then you'll note number two, scattered, mainly afternoon storms each day. Rain chances get as high as 50% at times. We get into June this weekend and early next week. Pretty typical June forecast, highs in the low 90s with a few afternoon storms. Right now it's 7:06. We'll be back after this short break with more of this morning's headlines.
7:07 your time. Welcome back to it, everybody. Let's get you those headlines as you think about that Tuesday. And we're going to start you halfway around the world, the southern Pacific Ocean. You know where Papua New Guinea is? Just north of Australia. Massive landslide. Look at the size of this here. Buries, they believe, up to 2,000 people still being looked for right now. And here's part of the problem. Even those who survive this have to be evacuated now so they can get in some heavy equipment to begin digging through this, looking for potential survivors. And it's just difficult to think about the numbers involved here. It's difficult to get that kind of equipment in. But yeah, Papua New Guinea right now, the site of a massive landslide. And again, they believe up to 2,000 people potentially buried there. Let's get you back stateside. Actually, let's get you into Louisiana. As we think about dealing with storm debris, let's get you over to Point Capee Parish because they're about to pick up some of this stuff as I take a drink of water here. Hold on. Yeah, my voice sounds like that chainsaw. Here's the thing. They want that storm debris on the curb like today, because beginning today, they're going to start to make their way around and pick that stuff up. Don't have it bagged. That's not what they're looking for. And this is just for the trees and the limbs, that kind of thing. Keep it away from the mailboxes. Keep it away from the power and water meters. Keep it away from vehicles. Again, get that stuff to the curb there in Point Capee Parish so they can begin to pick that up. Investigation continuing up in Mississippi after a deadly crash, a motorcycle crash involving a woman from Louisiana, Denham Springs woman, in fact, 43-year-old Amanda Holden. According to the Mississippi Highway Patrol, she was one of a few different motorcyclists traveling when in front of her, apparently a passenger, a 16-year-old passenger, fell off of one of the motorcycles. She moved or swerved to avoid hitting that person. That's when she crashed. A few others crashed as well, but she ended up dying. Again, 43-year-old Amanda Holden from Denham Springs. That continues to be investigated by Mississippi Highway Patrol. Louisiana State Police, meanwhile, they're investigating a death here as well. West Baton Rouge Parish. Apparently, 55-year-old Adrian Hammond was hit by a vehicle while walking along LA 3091. That's just north of LA 620 if you know the area. That crash still under investigation, so we'll let you know what they find out from there. And then this being investigated as well. Baton Rouge police saying right now they're looking to try and figure out who pulled the trigger and injured somebody in a shooting. This is Monday afternoon. Kind of get your bearings right there. This is North 15th Street near Chestnut. Again, still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. If you know anything that can help them out, it's going to be a phone call to Crime Stoppers at 344-STOP. One of the stories we've been following a lot for you over the last number of days, certainly since the weekend, is the escape of 4 inmates from the jail in Tangipahoa Parish. Now, what we've been learning from TPSO is that two of these escaped inmates are now in custody, but they are still looking for Amarian Hookfin and Jamarcus Cyprian. Those 2 are still at large. So 2 back behind bars, 2 still at large. And according to authorities, they say a lack of supervision may have played a role here. Some fencing that was not up to par may have played a role here. Some lack of razor wire may have played a role here. All of this still being investigated as to exactly how they made their escape. We'll follow that along for you. But again, 2 back behind bars, 2 still on the run this morning. The state capitol could be a little bit busy today. We got a few signings by the governor, Jeff Landry, of some bills that will be turned into law, ranging from everything from health care, infrastructure, education. But one, he's going to apparently signal out ceremonial signing of one Senate bill that will criminalize the abortion pills here in Louisiana. You can't just have them. They have to be a prescription. They're going to make them a controlled substance, so it would be criminal to have them without a prescription. Again, that's getting a lot of attention from coast to coast. Louisiana going to be the first state to make that move. We'll see exactly if the governor decides to say anything as those bills are signed into law. Hey, heads up for folks in Tangi. Got some patchwork going on there in Kentwoods. You see where this is? Asphalt patching, North River Road. So if this is part of your drive, we're hearing from the officials. You also see right there, expect intermittent delays. You know, intermittent fasting is one thing, but intermittent delays, it's not something you want to deal with. But they have to deal with the asphalt right there, or else it could just get worse. The next thing you know, a pothole just swallows up the family wagon. So there you go. Know that that is potentially on your route. Let's get you caught up on some summer meal plans. And actually, there's a couple of them here that we want to draw your attention to. East Baton Rouge School Summer Meals Program, beginning today, running through August 2nd. Breakfast and lunch. Children 18 years, all the way up to 18 years old. And no application, no appointments needed, starts today. But also, Idea Bridge, their schools are also allowing kids to have a free breakfast and free lunch. You don't even have to go or be a part of the Idea public school system. We have all of this information waiting for you at the website, WAFB.com, and of course your 9 News app as you get kind of into the summer months. I know it already feels like summer. As you get into the summer months, that stuff will be waiting for you. And also, oh, by the way, we got 5 winners that we need to hand over some keys to. The Driving the Future campaign wrapping up last week, right? Thank you to everybody who was a part of this. You know where the money goes. It's all to that fantastic place out there, Our Lady Lake Children's Hospital. And so what they did is they drew the winners, got 5 of them, but now they got to figure out which sweet ride they're going to be a part of.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's pretty interesting. As I remember, they give them the key fob, and you hit the button to see which one it is.
Yeah, and I guess the first person named gets to draw the fob first, whatever it is, and they go click, click. And then figure out which one they're taking.
Look, if I had the chance, man, hearing that sound on any of the 5 sounds great to me.
You're right. You're exactly right. I mean, how you're like, I'm disappointed. No, you're not. We'll see you driving around town all air-conditioned and loving life.
Yes,
air-conditioned to be the key right now.
Ooh, man. Yeah, yesterday was ridiculous. Record warm morning low, record tying afternoon high. Still hot today, a high of 96. The difference today, humidity is going to slowly drop, so the heat index not as big of an issue. The heat index yesterday all the way up to 110. That's more like July, August type stuff.
Right.
Yeah, not late May. So that was ridiculous. Heat index, it's still going to be hot today. The other thing, keep in mind, a few storms from mid to late afternoon. A couple of those could be strong. But beyond today, we finally get back closer to normal. It's not to say it's this Arctic blast headed down.
Well, but
so we're heading into summer, but
like
upper 80s to around 90, instead these mid to upper 90s.
I'm seeing those numbers actually over your shoulder right now in the 10-day forecast, and that looks a lot more appetizing than what we're talking about. The feel like
we can handle that.
You're absolutely. Oh, South Louisiana. Where's our lake, man? There's a 10-day forecast. Let's go jump in some water.
Drive into summer with thousands in savings during the Memorial Day sales event at the Team Automotive Group. Sedans, trucks, SUVs. The selection and the savings are here to start your summer during the Memorial Day sales event, now through June 3rd at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
From WAFB, your #1 local news station, this is 9 News.